Presentation about classes for the class of 2026. Our next year seniors. This is their last year of doing course selection with us here at the high school. It's a little bittersweet, but we still have another year and a half with them, so we'll worry about that next year. When they get their form, which they all should have by now, there are two numbers at the bottom of the page. The first number is the number of credits they have as of today. The second number is the number of credits they will have at the end of this school year, providing they pass everything second semester. That second number on that page needs to be at least 19. If it is not going to be at least 19, have them come see me at some point, because we probably will need to discuss summer school to get them caught back up to where they need to be to graduate on time. But it's that second number we're looking at that needs to be at least 19. That first number is just the number of credits they have right now. But again, the second number on that page needs to be at least 19. If it's not going to be, have them come see me, and we'll discuss summer school and getting them back on track. Classes they must take and pass senior year. Everyone will take English. Every senior has to take English. We have a general English 4, and then we have dual credit English through Lincoln Land. They can choose what they want to take. They can choose between the two classes, but the only way to get the college credit is to have a 2.7 or above cumulative unweighted GPA. If they do not meet that requirement, so if they have a 2.6 and below, they will not receive the college credit for it. They can still take the course if they wish to, but they will not receive college credit. So if they're going to college, they would then have to repeat it in college. They will circle which English class they want to take. The English class, if I have highlighted the dual credit class, that means they meet the 2.7 or above requirement and can take it, but they do not have to if they don't want to. My personal advice, if they are planning to go to college at all, to go ahead and take it with Mrs. Keeler. One, it's going to save you money because we offer it for free. And two, you get to take it with a teacher that you know, which a lot of times makes the class more comfortable. But again, have them circle which English class they're wanting to take, just so I have an idea of what their thought process is. They will all take a semester of consumer ed with Mrs. Campbell, unless they're taking co-op, which we'll get to in a minute. They will all take a semester of civics with Mr. Clark. They will all take a full year of PE. Now, they can opt out of PE for sports, but if to opt out for the whole year, they have to do a fall, winter, and spring sport. They have to be in 3. So if they doubled up, if they do like basketball and then they double up on track and baseball, they can't opt out for the whole year. They can opt out second semester, but not for the whole year. It has to be fall, winter, and spring. They have to be in a sport the entire school year. Now we do also let them opt out for a semester. If they play, volleyball and basketball, or if they do cheer and track, they can opt out for a semester. First semester, second semester, but they have to be in a sport the entire semester. I know there's a week or two break in between sports sometimes. That's fine. But it has to be the whole semester they're in a sport. If they do soccer and baseball, they can't opt out at all because they don't have any point in time that they're in a sport for the entire semester. And so just keep that in mind, that if they want to opt out of PE, it has to be consecutive sports seasons. This is a video Mrs. Keeler put together for them. I will not make you watch it. If you would like access to it, though, I am happy to send it to you, but it is not something that we'll go through right now. But again, if you have questions or would like to see the video, it's about the dual credit English class. I am happy to send it to you. Co-op. Co-op is a very popular class with our seniors. They get to leave early to go to work, which is nice. They have to be on track to graduate. They have to need 6 or less credits to graduate in order to take co-op. If they're super far behind, they cannot take it. They get to leave after 5th hour. They cannot leave before 5th hour. And we'll have students, but we only need 4 credits to graduate. Okay, you still have to stay through 5th hour because they have to stay for a certain number of time in order for it to count as a school day for them. And so they have to stay through 5th hour, which I believe our students now leave at 20 after 12, something like that. But they do have to stay for that period of time. But then they can go home. They are also welcome to stay and eat lunch if they want to. We do have some co-op kids who eat lunch and then they leave, which is completely fine if they want to do that. They must work 15 hours a week, though, every week. And the hours have to be Monday through Friday. Do they have to work every day, Monday through Friday? No. They can work whatever the combination is, as long as they're getting 15 hours a week. So if they work 5 hours, 3 days a week, great. If they work 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday, great. However it works for them, it works for us, but it has to be done Monday through Friday because they get to go home early with the caveat that they are going to work. Now, do they have to go to work as soon as school is over? No, they do not. If they don't go to work till 3 o'clock, that is fine. That is not an issue. They go home for a couple hours and then they go to work as long as they're getting those 15 hours Monday through Friday. They must be working somewhere that provides them a paycheck and a W-2. So if they babysit the neighbor, that doesn't count. They have to be working somewhere that offers them a paycheck and a W-2 because they do a lot of assignments with those things, and that is a requirement that Mr. Allen has for the class. And so they have to get a paycheck and a W-2 in order to take the class. They can opt out of consumer ed if they take a full year of co-op. Now, if they're like, I'm only going to do a semester, then they still have to take consumer ed. But if they do the whole year of co-op, they do not have to take it because a lot of that information is taught during co-op. And so they are able to opt out to take a different class if they would like to. Not if they would like to, they have to take a different class because they have to stay a certain number of hours throughout the day. But they can take a different class in place of consumer ed if they're doing a full year of co-op. We do have students who join at semester, and that is fine as long as they meet the requirements. And they can leave early. The problem with coming in late for the class is if there's other classes you need that weren't taken into consideration when the schedule was made, you may not get to leave after 5th hour. Like we have some students this year who don't get to leave till after 6th because of a class that they needed to take and when it was taught and things like that. And so that could happen if you are a late joiner to co-op. You can still join, but just keep in mind that it may not work perfectly with your schedule. You will be removed from the class and given a full schedule if you fail to meet the requirements. I believe Mr. Allen gives a 2-week buffer if you lose your job or quit your job. He will give you a little bit of a buffer, but it's not a lot. Like we got to be looking for a job pretty quick. But if you go through that grace period, still don't have a job, you will be removed from the class, and you will then have to be given a full schedule. And you will not be allowed to leave early anymore for co-op. Even if you're like, well, I got a job now, you've already been removed from the class, and so it is what it is at that point. So make sure with your job you can meet those 15-hour requirement and that it's a job that is sustainable, that you're going to have the entire school year, or you have another job lined up if something doesn't work out with that one, because we want to make sure that you're able to stay in the class the whole time. Students do not have to take math senior year. Math is an elective senior year. And so unless they fail junior year, then they do have to retake it senior year. But if they've passed all of their math classes, they will not have to take math senior year. They do have some options. All the requirements are listed in the course catalog. I did email the link to all the students and showed them in the MPHS information hub where to find the course catalog. And so if you need the link as well, let me know. Or if you need a copy of it as well, let me know. But your students were given access to it as well. If they're in Algebra 2 this year, they can take college algebra, or they can do a semester of stats. They can do trig. They cannot do calculus without trigonometry. Trigonometry is a required class for calculus, and they have to have passed it with a B or better and a minimum GPA of a 3.2 in order to take calculus. All of this is listed in the course guide, and so take a look through that. If you have questions, let me know. But again, they cannot take calculus if they did not take trigonometry. Now, they can do trig and not do calculus. That's fine. They can do trig and statistics, but they can't do calculus without trigonometry. If you have any questions about content or specific math questions, contact Ms. Bowers. She teaches all of these, and she will be able to answer your questions for you. LTEC. Our juniors and seniors can go to LTEC if they wish to. We have several students who go every year. The bus leaves at 7:30. The bus will not wait. If you have students who are currently going or have gone to LTEC in the past, you know this. They know this. The bus does not wait. The bus has to get them there at a certain time. It has to be back here at a certain time to pick up other kids to bring into school. So the bus will leave at 7:30 a.m., no exceptions. They cannot drive themselves to LTEC. I know if they have a field trip, sometimes they'll make exceptions with a permission slip. Other than that, they cannot drive themselves to LTEC. So if they miss the bus, you can drop them off and they can ride the bus back, or they can hang out here in the conference room and work on homework until 4th hour. Applications are now online. It is in my Google Classroom under coursework. It should be the very top thing listed, LTEC application. They'll fill out the Google form. It'll go straight over to Lincoln High School, and then the high school secretary sends it over to me, and I verify that, yes, the information is correct, and yes, we do approve of them taking the class. So the classes are listed here if they have any interest in those. It is a great program. If they do LTEC, though, they will only get one additional elective. And so, because LTEC does take up the first 3 hours of the day. And so keep that in mind. If they go to LTEC, they do only get one more elective. Mr. Watercuddy will be introducing a new nutrition class next year. It will not be weighted. It is dual credit, but it is not weighted. We are doing away with weighted classes. And so anything new introduced will no longer be weighted. But it is worth 3 college credits, which is great. This will be the first semester class, and he is already teaching a dual credit nutrition class that will be second semester. And so students can take an entire year of dual credit nutrition courses if they wish to. If they are taking HSP 116 this year, they can take the CLA next year, but they can't take HSP again. And so they can take this other nutrition class, though, next year if they wish to, even if they're taking the second semester one this year. But that will be new for next year for juniors and seniors only. If you have any questions about content, please reach out to Mr. Watercuddy. He will be more than happy to have a conversation with you about what he plans to do with this course. Mr. Allen flip-flops his dual credit class every other year. So next year it'll be farm animal production. This year it's crop science. There are prerequisites highlighted in blue. This class is weighted and it is dual credit. It is weighted because it's a pre-established class. So any classes that have been weighted will remain weighted, but no new classes brought in will be considered weighted. But this is the class for next year. They will earn 3 credits of college credit and then a full credit here at Pulaski because it is a full year class. But again, this is his dual credit class. It is weighted. It is dual credit. There are prerequisites though, so please see the area highlighted in blue. It is also listed in our course guide for this class as far as what the students need to have in order to take it. We do allow students to take online dual credit classes through Lincoln Land. We will give them 1 class period each semester to work on it if they choose to. Students are by no means required to do this. This is solely if they feel like they want to take an additional college class and it's something that we don't offer here, they can. And so they can't say, well, I'm going to take dual credit English online instead. No, they have to take it with Mrs. Keeler. I'm going to take college algebra online instead. No, they have to take it with Ms. Bowers. If it's something we teach here, they have to take it with our teacher. So these are 4 classes that we don't offer here, such as speech or psychology, or they can take things other than those 2, but those are just like an example. It has to be something that we don't offer here. Families are responsible for the cost. The school does not deal with billing. We do not take payments. We do not set up billing. That is all done through Lincoln Land. You'll contact their financial aid office, and they'll be able to help you get set up with a payment plan if you need to, or discuss how to pay for the class. Again, we here at Pulaski don't have anything to do with that. We don't really have any answers about when it comes to payment, but the people at Lincoln Land are very helpful. Online courses are no longer weighted. In the past, we've given weighted credit for online Lincoln Land classes. We will no longer be doing that because, again, that is kind of considered like a new class. And since we are doing it with weighted classes, if a student chooses to take a Lincoln Land class online, they will, of course, receive the college credit for it. They will receive the high school credit for it, but they will not receive weighted credit for it. And so it will not count towards their weighted GPA. It'll just count towards their unweighted GPA. Other information at the bottom of their sheet, there's 2 lines. If you could have them list at least 2 alternative classes they would be okay with taking. They can list 5 if they want to, but we ask that they list at least 2. We are a small school. We have a limited staff. We have 29 classes taught once a day. And so making it work for everybody becomes more and more difficult. And so while we do try our very best to make the schedule work for what everyone wants, sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes students sign up for a class and there's only 1 or 2 of them who want to take the class, therefore it won't be offered because the teacher will have to do something else in that time. But please list some alternative classes just in case the first choices do not work out. Please don't have them list classes they already took. So if they already took ag business, please don't have them list ag business again. They can't take it again. They can take Woods 3 again. So if they took Woods 3 with Mr. Brigard this year, he does let students retake it with his permission. And so have your student check in with him. They do allow them because it is a kind of an independent class. They kind of do their own projects in there. So Mr. Brigard, as long as they have another project they want to do, Mr. Brigard is typically okay with them taking it again. But again, check with him before signing up for it. We do allow students to take Woods 3 again for the year if they want to. Sheets are due back to me February 6th. I will take them late because things get turned in late sometimes. It happens. But I really do want them to turn their sheets in, because if they don't, I will have to pick their classes. I don't want to pick their classes. They don't want me to pick their classes. No one wants that. And so please get it turned in. If you lose it, if your student loses it, if something spills all over it, if your dog eats it, whatever the situation may be, please just send me a quick email. Hey, we need a new course sheet. Absolutely, I'll print you a new one. No problem at all. I'm more than happy to get you a new one, because I really do want the students to turn them in. Again, I don't want to pick their classes. I will if I have to, but then they get upset and I don't want to take these classes. And then it's, well, there's nothing else I can put you in. It turns into a whole thing. So again, if you lose it, it gets lost, it gets eaten, it gets spilled on, whatever, just have them send me an email that they need a new one, and I will get them a new one here at school. Or if you have a printer at home, I could also attach it to an email and send it to you, and you can print it off at home if that works for you. But just let me know if you need a new sheet to get turned in. Again, I will take them late to an extent. If you bring it to me in April, I'm probably going to be like, no, thank you, because at that point the schedule is pretty much done. And so we're not going to start over again, because we got a paper 2 months after it was due. But if you find it, end of February, please turn it in still. I will take it. Because again, I want the students to be able to take the classes that they want to take. I do kind of push kind of hard that the students need to be taking classes that they want to take. We all love our friends. We love spending time with our friends. We love, if you have a significant other, they enjoy spending time with them too. But especially senior year, take the classes that are beneficial for you, the classes that are going to be meaningful for you. Do not plan your day around another person, because as we all know, especially as adults, we know you're friends one day and maybe not the next. Or we're friends all school year and so we have a falling out over the summer. Things happen. I hope that doesn't happen, but things do happen, and we all know that. And so I really do kind of push hard for the students to take the classes that they really want to take, and have the day that they really want to have, as opposed to, well, so-and-so said I have to take, they're taking art, so I have to take art. I don't like art. No, take something different. Then you can talk about your differences when you're hanging out or whatever. Just do what's going to be beneficial for you. They'll get their schedules over the summer. I do not send them out. I don't know when they come out. They get sent out when we're ready, I guess. I don't send them out. So if you contact me over the summer when our schedule's coming out, I don't know. The answer now is I don't know. The answer in the summer is going to be I don't know. But they will get them before school starts. If and when you get your schedule, not if, when you get your schedule. If there's concerns or if questions or if they want to change something, please send me an email. I will work on it when I get back to work in August, and so it will not be something that I will deal with immediately. I will leave it as unread. I will star it. It'll be in my email. I promise I will take care of it when I get back to work in August, but it most likely will not get taken care of before that. Now, if it's like they don't have a schedule at all, yes, I'm going to look into that immediately. Or if something got messed up, or if they're in, classes that they don't need to be in, those kinds of things, yes, I will look into them over the summer, because if there's a problem, we want to get it taken care of. But if it's like, well, they want to flip these 2 hours, or they don't want this class, they want this class, that all will be taken care of in August when I am back to work. So please don't send me multiple emails, because I did see it. I am saving it, but I'm also on summer break. And so I am allowing myself that time to decompress and not be working. I don't typically take care of work things over summer break. Respectfully, the only appropriate form of communication about your student's schedule is email. Send me an email, 10 o'clock at night, 2 in the morning, 6 in the morning. I don't care what time you send it, but that is the only appropriate form of communication when it comes to schedules. Please do not text or call me about your student schedules. Please do not contact me on social media about your student schedules. Please do not come and knock on my door about your student schedules. Yes, that has happened. Email is really the only appropriate form of communication. Again, if it is something that needs my immediate attention, I will reach out to you. But if it's, swapping a class, or they would really prefer it to be in this hour instead of this hour, that will be taken care of when I get back to work in August. But if it is something that needs immediate attention, you will hear from me. But again, I please ask that you do not contact me via my personal devices over the summer about schedules. Now, if something, big happens or something you need to reach out, that's fine. But when it comes to like scheduling information, email again is the only appropriate form of communication for that. Make sure they look up the requirements for the classes. Again, they were emailed the link. They're all in there. It's all listed. Building construction in the course guide says up to 1 credit. Some years it's a full year, some years it's a semester. Mr. Brigard really wants to keep it a semester next year to back it up with welding. But again, if no one signs up for welding, then it will go back to being a full year. So it is kind of, that class is kind of, unknown for right now. But if it ends up being a full year or whatever happens with it, I will contact the kids who signed up for it. But we like to put that out there because in the course catalog, it can be a little confusing as to why it says up to 1 credit. The plan is for it to be only a semester, but that could change. And so again, if students sign up for building construction, I will reach out to them and talk to them about the changes that are being made if we need to. But again, he's planning for it to be a semester, but again, that could change. That's all I have for you. If you have any questions for me, please, please, please call or email me here at work. I'm happy to sit down and talk to you and your student, talk to the whole family, with whoever needs the information. I'm happy to have a conversation with whoever I need to about classes for next year. I know with it being senior year, that adds a little bit of extra stress of, it's our last year of high school and make sure we have everything, make sure we're on the right track, all of that good stuff. So if you have any questions, there are no silly questions. So if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am happy to help, and we can discuss via email if you want to come in, if you want to talk on the phone. All of that works for me. My only request is if you want to meet in person, set up a time to come in because I'm not always in here and I'm not always available. And so if there's a time you want to come in to talk, just send me a quick email of like, hey, can we come in? Can I come in whatever daytime? And that works for me. But again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. I appreciate you watching my video. I hope it was beneficial and informative. And if you need anything, please reach out. Thanks. Have a great day.